when you're here the whole year, you're a little bit bothered that you cannot get a court in octagon or in racket. But we were discussing like, this is good. Thanks to these people who come a lot and spend a lot during 2 or 3 months, we have a lot of facilities for the rest of the year. So there is a lot of options. And I think, like, as I said, I find it that the growth and the expansion of Sotogrande, I think it's still keep very real.
My guest today is Curro Espinar, creative entrepreneur, storyteller, and community connector. He's the driving force behind Singulare, an agency empowering local companies through creative marketing since 2012. He also serves as the director of Ocho Directo, the regional digital media voice for Campo de Gibraltar. Curro's work blends creativity, social impact, and regional dynamism, whether collaborating with LGBTQ organizations or hosting community leaders at the Sotogrande Polo Grounds. Curro, you're very welcome.
Thank you.
How are things? Good? Yeah?
Good, all fine. Yeah, thank you for having me.
Pleasure. I always ask to begin with, just to loosen you up a little bit, to tell me a little bit maybe about your journey. You know, how did you get to where you are today? You know, where you went to school, university, how did you get into media and all that?
Of course. First of all, I just have to say again, thank you for having me. I've been following the podcast and I really enjoyed it. And yeah, to start with, I would say like I'm from Campamento, so everybody who is listening probably knows.
That's opposite Gibraltar.
Yeah, it's belongs to San Roque, but it's just closer to La Linea. It's a little town, 100 to 1,000 people, very close to La Linea. So that's where I grew up. Went to high school in San Roque, studied computer science in Granada University,
right?
But I never actually worked as computer science engineer. I started bars and restaurant when I was 21.
Okay.
So I used to have beach bar that everybody knows in Alcaidesa, the Blanco, and
the Chiringuito.
In Chiringuito, yeah. It was called Arena those days.
Yeah.
And then I have bars and some clubs in Algeciras and restaurants.
Okay. How did you go from being a computer engineer to that?
Basically,
was there no business? Was there nothing there?
Well, some of my friends, when we were studying university, you used to run like a kind of a New Year's Eve big party when all the people from high school and university were attending from San Roque and La Linea around. Okay. So that was going good, and we thought, why wouldn't we have a beach club? And we were thinking always about club. Yeah. Actually, when we studied, it didn't go that good as a nightlife, but everybody went to have lunch and ice cream and whatever. So started to work good. Was not the original idea. Right. And then we were there, but never thinking about a long-term career because we were university guys, me and my partners, Echo and Carlos Trujillo. And then after a few years, I stayed in that path for a few years more professionally, let's say. Okay. Those guys started to do whatever they studied in those days, engineers, and I never actually went back to what I studied in Granada. Sure. I just keep on going, but with other partners, and I ran for a few years more till I started my marketing company, which is where I start now, where I met you. I have Singulare, which is a marketing company who used to be located in Sotogrande, where is Arrecas right now, and then. I joined after that working for different brands, but we focus more in public institution, big corporation around Palmones area like Cepsa or now Colmueve or Acerinox. So we move our offices, main offices are now in Palmones. We are where MediaMarkt is in those building, and that's where I am now. I'm having a marketing company, little newspaper, and that's why.
There's a lot there.
Yeah.
A lot went on.
Yeah, well, it's 48 years. I put it
48 years in 40 seconds. That's very good. Okay, so you went for university and you went and started at Chiringuito with some friends. You got into the restaurateur business. That went on for a little while. You went okay, but I don't know whether you suddenly wake up one day and say, did this work? And you got into media. How did you get into media exactly? Well,
it was basically what happened, and that's curious, a story. I was running bars and restaurants, but it was a huge crisis in 2008, if you remember.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So we were not professional, meaning we were not chef or nice waiter or sommelier or something like that. So we're running businesses. Yeah. Means that if the business is not working good, you're not taking even a salary because we are managing them.
I know exactly what you mean because at that time I had with some partners of mine a coffee shop right on the frontier called House Grind, which was 2 in from the the boulevard.
Yeah, the boulevard.
We had that, and it was going to be the next Starbucks, of course. That
Yeah,
was the idea, and that didn't work. And you mentioned where Media Mart is. I also had the gym there, Sona Fitness.
Yeah,
that was mine with Jose Antonio from who runs the gym in the port now, and he works at the Ayuntamiento as well as delegado de deportes or whatever he is. I'm not sure exactly, but so I went through that pain as well.
Yeah,
I know exactly what it's all about.
That's what happened. Basically, if you're not a professional and you cannot pass the bad times having this salary or just sign up. So we focus at the last stage only in the club because it's just the one who hit you less harder, there's no food involved and everything. And there was a moment that because of young people, like social media started to track. So we passed it from spending like thousands of euro in marketing, like flyers, printing, and with the club, the discotheque and everything, we passed it to run it. I don't know if people remember, but before Facebook in Spain was Tuenti, which was another social media run by Spanish people, like big in those days. And you could get, it was not an algorithm like nowadays. It was like straight, you put a message, all your followers will get the message. Yeah. So we put the flyer with the DJ was playing, wherever, going straight to the phone. And then everybody knew we save a lot of money. And I started to think like that could work for, obviously in those days, to main people who has businesses to sell to young people, not to every business. So actually we didn't went to marketing. I went only to social media, running social media. Actually, one of my first clients, like a long time ago, was Ke. Because I remember Nono telling me, Curro, I'm not going to pay you for that, but that's my daughter is always talking about that. So what can we change? And then you run it for me. And then I took some advertising in the screens of Ke. And then we started to, so what I started was like still in the discotheque and the bars at the end of my, let's say, bars and restaurant career. Sure. I started to run for other businesses, but main of them was bars or people who sell scooters, things for kids, like 16 to 20 was the target where everybody's social media was. I never thought that it will went like what is now social media, but that's how I started, let's say, the marketing career.
It's incredible how I mean, you got on social media, you see a lot of these things about what should people in their 20s do, and one of the things is make mistakes, try things, do things, find what your thing is. Maybe you've got your degree as you had, and you try different things, and suddenly something, works for you, and that's what entrepreneurship is all about. It's about trying, learning, failing, and then using that experience later on. So
of course, I will also add one thing, like bars and restaurant, which I said it was a mix of like a kind of young thing. Venture, and then I stay a little bit longer, but I knew a lot of people. And what actually happened when I passed it to marketing and I started to put it in, all the people who run companies now have been in my bars, like because now I'm 48, so it's like the people who are the mayor of San Roque, for example, was in my bars, or a lot of people who are now running a company, a director or a lawyer. When 20, 30 years ago with us. So I met a lot of people who helped me actually, in the next steps of my career. So I have really nice memories from those years.
Very good. What first brought you to Sotogrande? Because you're a boy from Campamento, went to university in Granada, did all this stuff, started your businesses, or did you come to Sotogrande before you started?
No, well, when I came back from the university, my father and my mother already moved to Alcaidesa, and there is where we have the beach bar and the bar. So my first house was living in Alcaidesa, and that's where I met my wife. She was my neighbor. She's Hungarian, and we started dating there, and we had our first house there in Alcaidesa. After a few years, when she got pregnant, she was always thinking about moving. She was enjoying Alcaidesa, but she always thought about coming more here.
It was very quiet at the time.
So and so we moved here like I think it's 11 or 12 years ago. I'm not sure because we live in La Loma for 7 to 8 years, and like 3 or 4 years ago we moved to Buena Vista, which is 100 meters from La Loma, but we live here in the villa like 4 years ago.
Okay, and you, I mean, this podcast is about people at Sotogrande, so that's my focus of interest. When did you actually come to Sotogrande?
Like 12 years ago.
12 years ago.
12 years ago, It's a big change in those 12 years.
Well, huge, yes, but I was going to take you back a bit more. I mean, you obviously knew Sotogrande.
Of course, I came here playing paddle a long time ago.
What would you think are the major changes, fundamental changes in Sotogrande from maybe even in 2008, you know, because and before, if you did know it then, what would you say would be the?
Well, I would say like for instance, at the beginning of what I met from Sotogrande, it was like a bubble. Let's say like I am from here, so Campamento, so I knew Sotogrande. I came sometimes. I remember even we are here very close to El Gaucho.
Yeah.
And I remember hearing like more than 30 years ago about this restaurant, even if not coming. So and Ryder Cup in '96. So I have been in Ryder Cup working as a volunteer here. So I'm not from Sotogrande, but I live close enough to have experienced certain times or moments into the history of Sotogrande. But for me, it was a bubble. Like it's something like if you're from here, let's say from Campo de Gibraltar, it's something that you come one day for care or you come, but it's nothing like that much of coming the money.
I mean, it was a holiday place.
Yeah.
Now people live here.
Live here. That's what I would say.
That's a big change.
A big change. But that's happened even before moving for me. Like I started to see changes, you know. So already from Alcaidesa years that I came more, I started to play paddle. I started to have my own money. Right. So I started to come more as a guest or meet friends here, or whatever. Sure. Those days, I remember starting to be more people living, nothing like today. And for me, the biggest change was COVID. For me, like I was living in La Loma, and it was a nothing still in winter, and it became bigger and bigger. You know, more restaurants, more things to do, more families moving, school getting bigger, and I see a lot of things happening since then. But specifically for me, is I think a big change when people realize that they can live here. Yeah, I mean, Zoom meetings
so
online.
Many people who had a home here spent COVID here, and suddenly said, "Sotogrande is great in May and in September," because they
for me even better, I would say.
Absolutely, those are the best times for us. You know, it's. I mean, I don't want to be derogatory, but the parties now for the locals start.
Of course, absolutely.
You know, the holidaymakers are gone. You know, which is great. So Sotogrande has changed over the time. What about this? And go back to business. Singulare. You know, that is your
main business,
Because Ocho Directo,
I have Ocho Directo, which is a newspaper, which is part of my business as well. I have two separate entities, but basically we have this all in the same office. But Singular is longer, it's 15, 16 years old already, and it's my main business. It's a marketing agency, which we started, as I said, running social media for small and medium businesses, but now it's changed a little bit. Like we are 360 marketing. We do most of the things that you can do except producing, let's say printing or things like that. But what happened through the years is because of the connection through, as I said before, mayors or big corporation, we focus more and we do a lot of PR. And we have also the newspaper, so we have a lot of relationship with, as I said, public institution. So we have less and bigger clients, and we are very involved into what I would say like is like the ayuntamientos, Mancomunidad, Diputación, Junta Andalucía, are clients of mine, most of them.
Okay, so and that is. It's not a political thing. It is a business.
It's a business. What I do for them basically is I run campaigns, like when they are running for elections, and also during the time that they are already in place. Like I do, I don't know, consultancy, or when they want to launch a specific campaign, or when they have some, European Union money, need to spend 3% on explaining how you spend your money for the people. So I create campaigns, I create advertising.
And do you get involved in strategy or just execution?
Well, I will do execution. I will do strategy for marketing campaigns, for being elected, not for the other things are very specific. So it's just like, let's say, I work also with Arhisa, which is the company who runs water and garbage and environmental. So I run campaigns for them for, when we have like dry times and with the water, so I do that. Well, I do my team, I have a team of people. So we work with this. So what happened is like I started here, and I said, as I said, my first offices were here in Soto Market. But my decision to move is like actually our main type of clients are more local, let's say, and bigger corporations. And what happened in Sotogrande, I think, like, and you have a big company now and doing marketing very well, but it's very specific English. And my people, I speak English. My people doesn't need to for the type of client.
You find that Sotogrande is, Yes, yeah.
I would say that. I would say that I think like it makes more sense for me that a company that want to do well in Sotogrande, I would never say that I'm the agency for them. I would say that the company from Marbella or you know or inside marketing that you can also have your own people. But I said that to like small or medium businesses or big businesses in Sotogrande have majority of people who can be clients or can become clients, foreigners, not necessarily English, but in English you could.
Yeah, I mean this podcast, it's in English. It's in English because, I mean, no disrespect for Spanish, but lo puedo hacer en español. But
of course, I know you can speak Spanish.
My audience is English, and if I was in Spanish, my audience would be much smaller. And I think that's what you're trying to get at. But you do have Sotogrande clients? I mean,
yeah, well, I have, I work sometimes with Moncayo and Don Diego, although they have their own marketing company, but they do some things with them. I have historically with Trasmayo, because every time I said, listen, I don't do this anymore. It's like, why I pay you fine, and why do you want to leave me? So I keep with them, all right. But it's not my main focus here. Sure. I live here, I do things, certain things. Right. One of my biggest clients, though, is Ayala. So I work for them, but I don't do specifically marketing for them. Like when I started, when Ayala took over after the 50th anniversary, and then, you know, they organized the Polo, the international tournament with Santa Maria for 1 year and those notes, and then they took over, let's say, Santa Maria, and they are running.
Is Santa Maria gone now?
Well, not gone. I think like there was a moment that Santa Maria had other interests, so I'm not sure what they. And then Ayala thought, because, you know, for heritage and you know, of the Thobel family and the Mora were the founders, let's say, of the polo here, and Thobel took over the running the show, let's say. Although Ayala was always involved and has their own club, but like now is running the whole tournament. So the new CEO and Paola, which is now the director, well, they hired me at the beginning of like 4 years ago. And I was doing the first year, I did marketing for them and also, you know, social media apart. But Minuto Siete, which is a big, nice company who runs the sport part of it, is taking care directly of the whole thing that you see now. But I stay with them because, as I said, I work with public institutions, and there is subvenciones, there is some money that Diputación put on it, some money that the Ayuntamiento put on it, some money that Junta Andalucía put on it. Even Junta Andalucía last 2 years, not this year, but the last 2 years was main sponsor. It was a tournament called Andalucía. And what happened is that is something that we do very good, which is like when you take that money, you need to justify everything specifically, because it's public money and it has an auditors. So we run that part and the PR with them. So when, you know, the politicians want to come to Polo, or they do a special event, or, you know, how the sitting plan. So I stay working as PR and that type of relationship I do for Ayala. So I would say that is one of the clients, as his main client, work with them.
I was very surprised to see a sign for Landco, because Landco are the people that took over. I don't know exactly how much of the land of the Pinos. The polo fields, I believe not, but just the in-betweens and that sort of thing. But to have I thought, why has Landco got a sign there? I mean, it's
well, I think the main reason that Landco and Ayala put that sign is like what I know. I don't have the details, but basically, as you said, Landco took over they bought the place for Santa Maria, except the courts, which still are owned by Santa Maria, by the Moro family. And then I think like they have an agreement of Ayala using the parts, which is Landco, which is the common areas.
Right. What is Infinite or Infinite?
Well, that is just I use a different brand to make video and producing. Okay. So I have different brands. I run Singulare, is like the marketing agency, company. Yeah. I have like one which we call, but this brand inside, let's say Singulare will be the umbrella under everything, and then I do like Ocho Directo is the media. I do with Infinity audiovisuals when we do videos and everything. Infinity, and then we do Seventh, which is what we call when we play an event, because we organize also events for some of our clients. But I would say like Singulare is like the umbrella for everything.
And Ocho Directo is quite out there. You know, it pops up all my time on social media. I've been interviewed a couple of times. I don't know when, a couple of things. you almost like pick up the local news very quickly, faster than I think with the two here in Sotogrande, the Sotogrande Digital and SG Plus. Do you have a big team?
Well, we have, in between both companies, we're 17 people. 17.
17, okay.
17, and I have 7 people in Ocho Directo and 10 people in Singulare, and then we have common administration. What happened in Ocho Directo is like, as I said before, one of the main reasons that I moved out from here is like, Sotogrande, and I am in love, and I'm very happy with my family living here. So for a business, as I said, again, you need to be focused for me to make business here in foreigners. So for me, media only in Sotogrande is small. I mean, it's tough for me to make it. So I'm not focused. And when something important happens here, of course, we cover it, but we cover most of Campo de Gibraltar. So I would say Tarifa till Estepona is our main focus, is 8 municipalities there and Mancomunidad. Also, we run, obviously, when you have the media, if something happened big in Spain or Andalusia or the fire or whatever, we cover as well. So yeah, we're quite happy. We became very, very big 10 years ago in Facebook. So even if now Instagram and TikTok is running a lot, we have something which we value a lot, which is like grown now about a base of people in Facebook is tough, to grow there, because they're not active anymore, but we have active users. People are checking Facebook a lot, still don't use it, don't post that much, but check it. And also more adult people, let's say over 45 are more on Facebook. So for me, which is a media, let's say we have 200,000 followers in Facebook, and only focus in Campo de Gibraltar is a big number, because we are 250,000 people. So it's a quite number. I wouldn't say that we have everybody. Probably some people have 2 accounts or companies who follow us, but I would say that 60-70% of the population of Campo de Gibraltar will follow us there.
Paola, you must tag them. You tag this on that thing.
Yeah, we have quite. I'm not sure how many of them will speak English though.
Doesn't matter, you're on it.
Yeah. So yeah, we do good. We are happy. We're trying now, and we have specifically last summer or this summer, it's still summer, a conversation about working a little bit harder on Instagram and TikTok because of young people. But yeah, we do good.
Good. Sorry for the interruption. I just wanted to give you one of my tips, which I think is very important. People always ask me, why do some villas sell quickly while others takes years to sell? Well, I think there's no secret. If you came to us, I would say the first thing to do is have realistic pricing that actually people will understand, and be defensible, of course. You need professional marketing, which we always do. Prime locations obviously attract faster sales, and lastly, make sure all your paperwork is in order. If you have all those done, you probably sell faster. Oh, one other thing. Please, would you mind subscribing? It'll help me with getting some traction and getting more people and getting more guests. Thank you very much. The town hall. I come across the town hall, not directly because I don't deal with anybody there, but with my clients who want to build a house, who need a license, who need to get it through, and I have some people enjoy the journey because they realize it's going to be a good tough 6 months, 8 months, 9 months. Others feel it's not right because in another part of the world you get it just like that. Others feel another part of the world takes longer. So the relationship that I have with the town hall is impressions that other people have when they tell me, oh, it's been good, oh, it's been bad, oh, it's been this, that, and the other. And there doesn't seem to be a path to get things through. It's always something wrong. Now, maybe I should go and investigate myself. But from your experience, is there something you can share with us in terms of how it works, or how it not necessarily for real estate, but just
no, in general? I would say my opinion. I will get a little short anecdote before what happened is as I said, my wife is Hungarian. When we met, she was 25, 26. Those days she's still working in Gubbins, a company in Playtech. So basically, the story, to make it short, is she said, "Curro, in Spain was always mañana." This is she said, and it was really frustrating. Yeah. I would say now that she's very happy living here and she accepts how things work. So I would say, as a definition, bureaucracy in Spain really hard. Taxes compared to other places depend also high, but I would say it's the whole package. What I would say, answering specifically about Ayuntamiento, town hall, it's tough. What happened is like there is a lot of people that doesn't need to understand how you operate. So when you have a full picture, you understand. So I can deal faster. But in my experience, what I would say, which is frustrating for me to explain to people, is like people only use administration maybe once. You buy a house or you make a license once. You don't need to understand. You need some guidance or some path. And that is what generates the frustration to people. What happens is not like you're a foreigner or not. When you use it regularly, you understand. You know the guy who asks, you know how to, you know which day is better, or you understand how they operate. But that shouldn't be like that. So even if I understand how it works, or I can work faster, because obviously I work with them in my daily base, and also being honest, it's Spain, so meaning that they need things from me, I need from them, so I can get it done faster. I'm not gonna lie that, but I find it that it generates a lot of uncertainty in the people when you use it one time. So it's, I guess, in your case, German couple come here and find a plot amazing, and they want to, and you cannot say, because you actually don't know if you say 2 months or 3 months, or 4 or 5, and that happens. So I would recommend, as you always said, because I follow you regularly as well, I mean, you need to put yourself into hands who understand. That's local people. That local people and to understand, because it's very difficult to explain.
Curro, I have lived as an adult, in my life, in 14 different countries. Okay, so but as an adult, I've lived in African countries. I was in Kenya for 3 years. I've lived in Colombia for 3 years. So I was in New Zealand for 3 years. So in New Zealand, everything is anemic. Everything was perfect. Everything worked. It was like the way they did it. In Colombia, it's very much like in Spain. The processes. In Africa, it's Africa, and it could be anything. So I understand that there's differences in every country, and the custom of way things are done are different. It's culturally. It's obviously language. It's people get annoyed here because at 10 o'clock everyone's having breakfast. I say, so what? They got up at 8. They've been working since 8 o'clock. You're at 8 o'clock. You're in bed. You didn't get on the train until 9. So it's different. It's and there's a lot of disrespectful people towards the culture, which I really don't like. And that's maybe I'm more understanding of it because I've lived and I can know it's different in every place. And thank God it is. Imagine we're all the same,
Of course.
And it's an encanto. It's a nice thing. I think that it is. As long as at the end it all happens and it's all done in a correct way. When I first came, people ask me for brown envelopes, and brown envelopes don't exist anymore. It just doesn't happen.
I think there is two things I would say about that. The comprehensive part of what you said, like living here, understanding and getting the good of it, and understanding the time. I would also say one thing, which is I think it's part of who we are, but maybe not helping in that sense. Is like maybe it doesn't happen faster in other places, but people are more strict, more forward. So here, always the charm also to say, let me see, and it's a little bit like you don't know. Maybe it happens in 3 months, and if you say that people listen, this is gonna take this paper 1 month, this paper, so people know the path, so they understand, they're more calm. So I think it's the uncertainty. I would say about that, because being here, that at the end will happen. It's just how we say maybe things. It looks like people are very welcoming and very charming, and then maybe you get the wrong impression that that's going to happen faster, or you're going to get it done.
I mean, some things impressed me incredibly in Spain. I mean, I had a little abscess on my back of my neck the other day, and I knew what it was. It happened to me before, and I got a receta from my doctor on the telephone. I didn't have to go and see him. He knew what it was. In England, you have to queue up. My children live in London, and adults now, but they say it's the worst thing that ever happened. Now, the Spanish health system is amazing. It really is.
It's really good.
It is extraordinary that and it's the best I've ever experienced in the world of all the 14 countries I've lived in. So there's certain things that are amazingly good. And I would tick every time. So. it's you got to come and live and really understand and
I think so. I think like as I said before, like nothing's going to change the time that you're going to get, but you get that confidence or that path clearer if you have local people helping you.
Yeah. As a resident of Sotogrande, you've seen it grow. You've seen the Hotel develop. You've seen now Incha and Tribuna as a wonderful new addition. You see Plaza Blanca here at the back and what's happening. So do you feel it's good for the community? Is it too intense? Is it too fast? Is it something that's going to change the character of Sotogrande? Is it just progress and we can have to accept it and see it? Because from a real estate point of view, the secret is out.
Yeah.
There's no more secret. I mean,
no more secret. No,
it's
I agree.
People, and maybe it's because of the times. The Marbella agents don't have stock, or they have people that don't want what Marbella offers, and want to come to somewhere like Sotogrande, which is low density. Seems to be no crime that you expect over. You see sometimes over there. There's no traffic issues. Living here is, it's paradise compared to that. What's your opinion in terms of that?
Well,
Are we going too fast, maybe?
I would say two things in that respect. It's just, as you said, it's no more secret. And it's not only about the people, it's just social media again. The way we communicate now. So keep a gym secret or something like that was easier. Nowadays, it's just you post where you're on vacation, if you're playing golf, if you're having a paddle tournament. So everybody has a 2,000. I'm talking about no influencer, like normal people have 2,000 friends. Instagram, I'm playing here with my son. I play golf tomorrow. I go to I go to Incha, the new restaurant. Or I do this, I do that. So there is a lot of plans, a lot of things happening. And as you said, like it's not anymore July and August. It's a lot of time of the year that things are happening here. It's an international tournament like Leaf, incredible, making a huge promotion, especially in America. And so I think that is not anymore. But what I like about how things are changing is like it keep a little bit the culture of the people. For example, I'm happy that I would call Andrew Brooks my friend and Andrew Brooks. I played paddle with him before I knew that he was involved in Plaza Blanca. So I know very good this project and I have talked with him and I have seen through. And by the way, if you allow me to say congratulations to him, because I think he did an amazing job, because I was doubting a lot of things and how he created a community so fast and people really like the whole thing impressed me. It's very close to my house. It's close to me, and I really I'm
it's
impressed.
True. And I've had a lot of people coming in, and the people that come through here. I mean, it's Patrick Guibault, who's a friend of mine, but he's involved with the restaurant over there, and know that and then opera with the bakery and the Italian guys there. It's little by little the whole thing is and it's obviously the right time, the right place, all those things, but you have to have a good pair of you
have to be brave to say nice
to do that, and I wish him all the best, and I'm sure he's well on the way to do that. In fact, the other day I was talking to him and he's saying looking for something else to do, so he's already looking at the next one.
But as I said, I think that's a very good example of something who keep what Sotogrande and the community. The community, exactly.
And that's what was missing, I think.
Yeah, and I think it's nice. And then, of course, how things are gonna. I'm not good into. Maybe you are more like into what develops will come and how will affect what I'm reading in your post and I follow your newsletter and everything about there is no houses and there is so I'm not sure if that. How it's going to impact the Acciona El Pueblito, and that's going to be big, and a new hotel. So I'm not sure about 15 to 20 years whether that will change what we are as a community. I'm not sure of that, but I find it like for the moment what I experienced in the last, let's say, 7 to 8 years. I'm living here 12. It's just growing, but in a good way. I would say that there is a lot of things who can enjoy the rest of the year. And also I would like also to say something we were discussing the other day after a paddle. Like, when you're here the whole year, you're a little bit bothered that you cannot get a court in octagon or in racket. They say to you like, listen, you cannot book 2 days in advance, you need only 24 hours. But we were discussing like, this is good. Thanks to these people who come a lot and spend a lot during 2 or 3 months, we have a lot of facilities for the rest of the year, because I guess maybe only without the nice summer, there wouldn't be that much restaurants or that many. So there is a lot of options, and I think, like as I said, I find it that the growth and the expansion of Sotogrande, I think it's still keep very real, very, I understand that in summer you need to have some little parties for the young people and some clubs.
Well, that's I was going to get onto that. I think the before I do it, the first thing is infrastructure. I live in El Polo, and the two old polo fields next door, and if that becomes more apartments, they'll collapse, because there's no enough infrastructure, road infrastructure to do it. Either you go out, and that's what we're Pueblito there as well. If you get so many more properties there, and then Polo Valley that are doing something in there as well. So I mean, they're going to be, but another hotel. It's that infrastructure that worries me too much. But I think one of the reasons that Sotogrande has stayed the way it is because, good or rightly or wrongly, we don't have nightlife.
Of course.
We don't have nightclubs. We don't have, and everything that follows that. You go to Marbella and you have nightclubs. You've got gangs. It attracts a certain kind of person, and the school does well here, and the kids coming from over there here, because kids over there coming out of school are offered drugs, and that's the sort of thing that we must be very careful to protect here, that we don't need that sort of stuff.
I agree. I totally agree. I would say even more. I'd say, like, I find it absolutely understandable that in summer there is an amount of people, and you need to have something for July and August. Pop-up like Agora is doing in summer, like Trocadero. That's something very specific apart from the concert. But other than that, I wouldn't go further, because, as you said, this is what keep different, and I think it's very family oriented. And I have two little kids, and I'm happy that I'm not worried that my kid can go with 11-year-old with a bike going everywhere, so I find it that we need to keep that. But as you said, I'm not an expert in like long term, like 15 to 20 years. I cannot follow that, but I worry the same. I say, like, if you make big developments, like how the people gonna feed, and as you said, parking, infrastructure, and the whole thing.
Well, let's hope it stays the way we love it. Curro, just moving on. Outside work, what do you do? You mentioned paddle. Is that
I like paddle a lot. My niece doesn't like it that much anymore, but
your niece?
My niece. Yeah.
You know what I've got.
I should lose like a few kilograms and train a little bit more. But I like paddle a lot, and as I said before, I'm involved with Ayala working, but I like to go to the polo even if I was not involved. I used to go.
Do you ride?
No, I don't ride. My kid loves horses, but I like the atmosphere a lot, and I find it's a nice thing to do, like after beach or going like that. Huge fan of Chambao, to go during the day. Good friend of Juan Raul and Anna. And big shout for
who have said they want to come here, but they say they don't speak good enough English.
Well, Anna does.
That's what he said. He said Anna can do it.
I think Anna could do it. But and they are they are a big part of the community, and they know.
Well, you said you meet people in certain parts. I mean, when I first came here, I used to go to the old Almenara gym, and that's where I met Juanma. That's where I met a lot of the people I first made contacts with. Nono from he used to go up there, and Ismael from they used to get. That was the only place we went to, and we used to spin together, and then that's how I got a lot of introduction into
people. I remember those days. I used to go there as well sometimes, and I miss that. By the way, I miss now there's more gyms, but I think that was a moment that there was a lot of people there in that gym in Almenara. As I said, I enjoy paddle a lot. I like to go to the polo, to the beach. I enjoy Sotogrande a lot, as I said, family wise. As I said, for my wife, for example, and you were saying about the secret is out. Imagine, my wife's a Hungarian, worked for an international company, a lot of people flying over, and one of the things she always said, people listen, I need to take you out. You go to, she goes to Care, she goes to Trocadero, and the people fall crazy in love. Even if you are full of foreigners, when they come here first time, still impress everybody. And as I said, I have the experience in my house, because there's a lot of people who come for first time here, and it's nothing, I would say, like this. It's the weather, the people, the food. I think it's amazing.
No, it is, and we are very, very lucky to be residents here. I tell you, I write in my journal every morning, I'm grateful to be in Sotogrande, because it is that way.
And you get used. You think it's normal. That's the thing. Like when you go somewhere, you realize.
If I get in a traffic, I go to Marbella in a traffic jam. I hate it.
Not use anymore.
That's right. Okay, so just thinking of the future, AI. How is that affecting your business?
Well, for me, what I would say is like I told before, the focus we have, it's a lot of PR, a lot of relationship and knowing the people and helping businesses that need also the relationship with the municipality. So for us, we are focusing now in a path which is more about personal relationship. So I'm okay, but I see happening that a lot of things that you needed more people to do, you can do it faster. At the end of the day, not in design, not in videos, but we're using it, we are involved, we have a lot of tools. I will not say that it would reduce my team. We can do more things more effectively. I am in that moment in my life that it takes me a lot to jump into a new thing. My people are. So I wouldn't be very specific about what we are doing in terms of, because it's Nacho, for example, one of the guys who is doing all the courses and he's explaining me how to do this, how to do that, and it comes with solution. But it's going to be a big part where I'm reading a lot as well, not specifically about the tools, but reading. And there is a lot of jobs. I guess it's going to be and in 3 to 5 years of change.
I mean, yes, but things have happened over the years. When electricity came, what happened to coal, and all these new things come along, and things happen. When people started typing themselves, what happened to secretaries? We'll adapt, we'll evolve, and that wouldn't be a worry, I don't think. And your businesses, where do you see them going? Are you just getting bigger, or?
Well, you know what happened. I mean, in a moment, like I'm thinking a lot. I mean, I want to make the business bigger, but I'm starting to also think about taking care of myself. When you take to a point, and I want to have time to take care of myself, to go a little bit more to the gym, to have maybe take a back golf, which I tried a long time ago, and
golf.
I used to play a long time ago when I lived in Alcaidesa, but I haven't played in a while, and I have been telling like last 2 or 3 years to play. I would like to have a little bit more me time, not necessarily meaning like I'm not gonna grow the business, but not my main focus. I have been working really hard. I think we're in a sweet spot where I don't want to go bigger. The reason is not like I'm not ambitious enough. It's like I always thought I want to live here. It's very funny. Like, though I'm from Campamento, I move around. I studied 1 year in high school in United States, like long time ago, more than 30 years ago. I've been around. The thing is that basically I don't like to live outside. So to put my company bigger will involve me moving or having an office in Malaga or in Sevilla or going more to Madrid. And I'm not keen to that. No. I want to maintain the business. We have clients in Sevilla or in Malaga, but selected clients, we visit them regularly, but I'm not crazy about taking the car, going everywhere.
You are exactly where I was a few years ago, because Sotogrande is small. I've become a big fish in a little pond, if you see what I mean.
I understand.
And I've had people from London say, can you please develop this brand and take it to Marbella? And I kept saying, no, I don't. 3 or 4 times, Stephanie and I have been approached to do that. And we're at the wrong time of life, to do that. I'm a grandfather. I don't want to start going off and having to, and I think that's so valuable, because we as human beings, and if you've been successful, you keep going, and then you suddenly realize life has just gone by, and you haven't done the things that you really should have done. That life is to live, not to
of course.
Just try and.
That's why I'm very agreeing with you on that. I'm like, I was very proud. I pushed a lot, and now I'm more into enjoying. Like I want to keep my business healthy and good, but not getting crazy.
Okay, good. Curro, is there a question that you wished I'd asked you, which I haven't asked you?
Well, not that it comes to my mind now. No. It's just, as I said, it's a big pleasure to have been here with you, sharing this time, and also, as I said before the conversation, I've seen most of them, not every one of them, I would say.
You're number 29, actually, so they're quite a lot.
I've seen a few, not all of them, but
no. And,
but I congratulate you on the initiative, and I think it's really interesting.
No, it's enjoyable. It's complementary to what I do anyway. You know, the Sotogrande is my home. I've known it for a long time, and you know, I like to look after it, and I like to introduce it to people that may be listening, watching on YouTube, the people that live here in the community, and how diverse it is, and how we look after each other, and you know, it's a community that really welcomes people that want to be part of it and be like-minded, you know, family-oriented, sports, tranquilo. You know?
Yeah, I have a little suggestion. I feel very privileged to be part of the new club of Nolan Partner Podcast, but I will suggest to make a little gathering together before Christmas of everyone who has been in the podcast, to have a drink or whatever.
Oh wow, yeah, good.
Okay. Together. And maybe record something there.
Yeah.
Like, it would be fun to meet up. Well, I'm not sure if everyone who has come could be the same day.
They can, but
try.
We can
It's
try.
a suggestion.
That's a good suggestion. We'll have a podcast Christmas or
It would be
no,
nice.
but we've been talking about doing it because at the moment it's always done here, and I'd like to take it on tour.
Yeah, to
So maybe go to one or two venues outside and see. What do you think of that? Would that be a good idea?
That would be nice as well.
Yeah.
Maybe also maybe making. I know you like golf a lot, so maybe going to a golf club and maybe doing maybe a podcast with 2 or 3 guests around golf, maybe or something like.
Well, I've had Alvaro on it, and he's been on it, and it's and it's what makes me love it so much is that people call me to be on it. Yeah, and that's fantastic. You know,
no, I thought it was a great move, a great idea, as we were talking before. So the Sotogrande community, but to make things that generate community, and you're very, very active in social media, so I like it a lot.
Curro, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Right, cheers.